We talk about our state leaves, though, the analysis is completely different. So under our state and city laws, your paid sick leave, Washington State paid sick leave or Seattle paid sick leave, is available to you if your employer is directing you to stay home, or that slide that we just had about the I've become ill and I'm going to stay out for 2 weeks. So this absolutely must be available to your employees. Just a difference there. So when in doubt, the Washington State paid sick leave, if somebody has it available, is going to be available more readily than the FCRA leave. Now, this brings me to some common pitfalls. The biggest thing I think that I see employers getting wrong are these first 3 bullets. The first one is when the employee is symptomatic, or you learn the employee might be ill, or even if you're doing some screening, you forget to talk to your employees about what leave might be available. I know most folks are good about it 99% of the time. I tend to deal with the 1%. The other thing is that you cannot require employees to take FCRA, to take the emergency paid sick leave under federal law, or Washington State paid sick leave. I know that we want to encourage use of the federal emergency paid sick leave because we can get the tax credit, but even if the employee is eligible for the FCRA, they have the choice to use their Washington State paid sick leave first. That's always the choice. And by the way, if the employee wants to take the 14 days off and not get paid, that's their choice too. The other mistakes I see here are where employers are promising things that they're really not in a position to promise. And the biggest one is unemployment. I know we want to help our employees understand what unemployment benefits may be available to them, but in the end, the agency that decides if the employee is going to get unemployment is ESD, is the Employment Securities Department. So if we get stuck promising somebody they're going to get unemployment benefits and they don't qualify, you can be stuck paying for their leave. So that's really why you want to be cautious about not promising it. Also, of course, employees can't double dip. And sadly, I've already seen fraud. I've already seen where employees are trying to get both PTO and unemployment at the same time. And my gosh, the state's busy enough trying to catch that. I hope that you don't have to do that too. But that's an instance where the fact that you didn't mislead your employee into thinking that they were owed unemployment is going to save you. Because if it turns out the employee didn't qualify and they owe the money back to the state, and you as an employer told them something wrong, then think about how you could be stuck on the hook for that. So that's why I want you to be worried about that. The next thing is just to be sure that you're following the leave tracking rules. There is guidance in all of those long Department of Labor guidelines about what records you have to have in order to qualify for the tax credit. We think, I don't know if the IRS is going to change its rules tomorrow, but that is something that I see folks kind of, at the beginning, we were just giving people leave and then figuring you worry about it later. There's some paperwork you're going to have to get those tax credits. All right, I'll go ahead.
Catherine, I've got a question from Victoria. Does the employee have to initiate the conversation of paid leave, or do we as employer have to start the conversation? As a company, we have all leave options posted on employee communication boards and in our COVID-19 handbook.
Yeah, so for state and city law particularly, the burden's going to fall onto the employer to make sure that the employee knows they have that leave available. So it's great that we've got a policy and we've met all those notice requirements, but I've had many investigations by the state or the city of Seattle, even predating COVID, where the employer was not doing a good job reminding the employee that they had this benefit available. Plus, if the employee might qualify for FCRA, you need to tell them about that. And if they qualify for Washington State paid sick leave at the same time, you're going to need to explain that they have the choice between the two. So really, this is where training your managers and frankly, training your workforce about what questions to ask if an employee needs time off is going to be helpful and help you meet those compliance. But it sounds like you're already doing a great thing, Victoria, in trying to get the word out about what's available to folks, and that's going to really help there. What I'm more worried about when I say the mistake is the employee says, hey, my brother came down with COVID. I think I need to take some time off. And the employer says nothing about paid sick leave rights, right? That's rare, but it does happen, so be careful of